Hey everyone. How's it going, B-Wag? All right. Yeah, that is good timing. Glad it worked out. All right. So today I'm going to be working a little bit on animations, cleaning some stuff up. I do have a little bit of some cleanup to do in terms of some of the magic stuff, but I don't think that'll take long. I'm doing pretty good. It's going pretty well. It's Friday, so that's fantastic. Oh, wow. That's unbalanced. It's all right. I switched I created a kind of import method. Nice. Well, congrats on another year down. Yeah, I created a kind of input method for inputting character stats, and apparently I made my melee hits way too strong, which is fine. I'll adjust it. But yeah, so ultimately there's a couple things I need to do. One thing is like my magic. I actually have way more magic than this now, but it's not importing. I think I know exactly why. So I'll fix that. And nice, good deal. Congrats. Well, great job there. Well, hopefully that means a good solid summer. Hopefully you don't work too hard. I know you gotta work a little bit, but hopefully it's not too bad. And I'm sure it's better than being in class for the most part. All right, so the first thing I'll do real quick is just update this to capture the right spell. Essentially what's going on is on my characters, I created a couple scripts here to import some things. So I created a magic import script, a character import script, a title import script, which is his like jobs essentially. And for what I realized, I guess, is that even though I replaced the resource for my characters, they're not getting added to the actual character, right? So even though this has a reference to Arya, you can see here, this is actually the wrong reference. So you can see an array 10 of here unknown magic. If I actually go to this, there should be an array of 21. She should know 21 spells. So, need to do a little bit of work there. Let's see. Okay, so ultimately what I want to do is, the way I think I'm going to do this is every character now has a character ID. And I think I didn't want to do it by name because you might have multiple characters with the same name. And I think that's okay. But character ID, I can assign sequentially, and you can have independent unique IDs for everybody. So ultimately, I think this is pretty easy. All I really have to do is on my load stats script, when I pull my current stats right here. Okay, so this is let me look at this real quick. Current stats should be probably on ready. Okay, that's what I need to find. Let's just do a search. Current stats. Okay, so current stats is character player. Okay, I think that's okay. I just need to set current stats to be the right thing. So, can I add groups to these? I cannot add groups to them. That's okay. What I can do is point to the directory. So let's go back here. And what I'm going to do is export directory here. Export directory. And then we'll call it character stat location. Is that how I use that? Okay, so now when I click here, I should be able to point towards a directory. Let's see if I can minimize that. That's here. You can't see this window. Let me fix that. There you go. Okay, so here what I would do is go to stat resources, characters. Okay. So ultimately you just select that, and then what I do there is, so character stat location. So now in on ready, before I load stats, I can say, let's see, if self, let's see something real quick. I need the groups. I'm trying to remember how to do this. Let's see if I type allies here. If is in group, okay. Just grab that. All right. So basically I'm gonna say, hey, if I'm in the allies group, go to this folder. If I'm in the enemies group, go to this folder. I may end up getting rid of that altogether because related. Yeah, let me actually. You know what? I think I'm gonna get rid of allies and enemies in that folder, and just have character stats, because I don't actually think it helps me to split them up. It just makes my code more complicated. So then I can move that in there. I can delete this folder. It actually makes, I do have to update my importer, but it makes it easier. So my importer, basically I can get rid of all this code and just say save results, variable save results equals character slash the character stats. Character stats. Oops. There we go. How's your snake game coming along, BWAG? Let's see. So that should work. Let me just test it out. Not under art. Yeah, it's gonna be much better. You think it's in a final stop? Does that mean it's working? Well, I'm glad you like it. Hopefully that means all is well. You thinking about moving on to your other game after that? To balance this down while I'm at it. Oh, I guess I need to update it in the Excel sheet. I'll do that here in a little bit. Okay. Ultimately, that's pretty good. And then what I need to do then is come back to this script. I don't need to worry about those anymore. Basically, okay, so then I can actually, on this directory, I can point to this. And actually, I can take this small 30-minute project with nice. Okay, no, that's cool. I think that's super helpful because then you get a good variety of all the different stuff, right? So yeah, it's super awesome. Hopefully that goes well, and hopefully your projects go well. Hey, thanks for the follow. Hexadecimal universe. Hexadecimal. Appreciate it. Let's see. There's an extra axe in there. Had to to find it. So yeah, that should give me the right location. So now all I have to do is to say on here for file in. Hey, well, good afternoon. Wait, I got this. Moin. Welcome to the stream. Let me know if I did that all right. For file in character stat location. I don't think that's quite gonna work. I need to probably look at, so let me look at the directory node here. Editor file system directory. Let's see, I'm doing this in multiple places. Let's not reinvent the wheel here. I am doing it in my magic list. Let's see. In my magic list, I load the get files. Okay. Alrighty. I'll have to reference that again, I'm sure. Let's go back and go forward. It'll be easier to navigate that way. .get files. So basically for each file, I want to set, let's see, if, so I need to load it. Load file. That should be all of the files here. So load it. So I guess I could say stat sheet, call it, equals load file, and then if stat sheet dot character ID equals what do I call it, char ID, character ID. Then I would say current stats equals stat sheet. I think that would work. So essentially I'm looking for this number to match the number of, if I go back to my file system, should match this number. Let's give it a go. I should be able to tell from the magic. And then I should unexport current stats so that I don't have conflicting things. Let's find out. Ultimately, oh, okay. So it doesn't like get files. A string, really. It thinks it's a string. Current stat location. Okay, so export directory. Maybe I'm not doing this right. Let's look at the symbol. It is a string as a path. The path be limited to the project folder and its subfolders. That's okay. I think I can. Okay, so it's just a path. It's not an actual reference to that folder. So I need to go back here then and look at how I'm doing it here. Oh, that's the same place. Go back here. Okay. dir equals, okay. So I just need this line essentially. Hey, Poetic Tragic, doing pretty good tonight. Working on really quickly on getting all of my stat sheets to load in correctly. Because right now I've got to do that manually and I just automated a lot of things. So I don't want to end the automated process with a manual process. So doing that real quick, and then I will be hopefully working on some particle systems for some magic. and that's gonna be fun. This is probably less fun, but it is necessary. Stat sheets, is that what we called it? Character stat locations. Location. Okay, so essentially I'm gonna open that directory, and then I say for file in dir.get files, that should look through all the files, and I would load it. Yeah, so essentially the workflow looks like this. I've created some importers to import characters, weapons, magic, titles. I haven't done the weapons and armor yet, actually, but they look something like this. They're really simple. It just loads a CSV in, but it's allowed me to load in like 70 something spells pretty quickly. A bunch of titles, which are essentially like the jobs in my game. So it's they give bonuses for I've only got like 3 loaded. Oh, I can show you that then. I do want to load them. Okay, so essentially if you watch, I will load it. That's all it takes. I hit Control-Shift-X, and if I scroll up, you can see now there are a ton of jobs. So I can load those and create them in Excel, right, like in a CSV, and then just import them with a lot of stats. So yeah, pretty cool. Saves a ton of time. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to create all these things without that, right? So now I can, and I can like manage it in Excel. So like everything's alphabetical here in Excel. It's all in a logical order. So I can balance things. I can do a ton of stuff, and have just a ton of classes. So, but I ended. So I did that. I do that for my character sheets too, right? Because there are a lot of stats, which is good. But the character references here are stale. So right now I'm writing code to update them every time at runtime. So essentially at runtime, it's going to go look for the right character stat sheet and then pull that in, so I don't have to worry about keeping that up. I do the same thing with magic. It goes in it at runtime now, looks at all my imported spells. Let's see. So it didn't like character ID. Let's see what it didn't like. Stat sheet equals load file. Let's print file here so I can see what's going on, then print dir.get files. I need that. And we'll just run it again. It's not going to work, obviously, but let's see what it thinks is happening. Because ultimately, this looks like it should work. Just opening the character stat location, which should just be a file. So it should print out an array of all of the files, which are essentially the resources we were just looking at. Let's see what we got. Output. Okay. So it did print out an array. I think I see what's going on. Okay, file. This is a string. So get files must return a packed array of strings. Okay, yeah. All right, and I need to reference a file from that. So what I've got to do then is load, what I'll say is dir plus files. Is that right? Or maybe I would do character stat location plus file. And character stat location, let me make sure, but I think it has a slash. It does not. Let's give it a slash at the end. Then I don't have to worry too much about that. It's the easy way to do it. Cool. Let's give that a go. And then that should be a full file, and I should load that file, and then I should load that file and then add it to character ID. It did work. I mean, it pulled for Aria, pulled the right file. I do think Aria's first. Character ID like this also gives me another thing. Well, one thing I've been doing is when character speeds match, it pulls whoever has the first, sorry, there's a fly or something. It pulls the first name in terms of alphabetical order. Now I can look at character ID, which is a little bit better. So yes. I need to adjust this menu so it's side by side. I need to adjust my icon sizes. But ultimately, okay, I didn't like that. invalid index Terra/1. Okay. So before I can do that, I've got a little bit of debugging here to make some things look a little bit better and to work, but that worked. So that is loading the correct character sheet now. Let me see if maybe I don't have magic for Terra/1. I do have Terra/1. Okay. Let's see, what would it not like there? Let me make sure. So essentially on her character sheet, she should have, let's see, all these. And then on the second page, which is Terra/1. Oh, there's a extra quote on the end. Okay, so that's something I can fix. Let me pull up the character sheet CSV, and you'll kind of get to see that, what that looks like. Yeah, I think honestly this helps so much, just being able to manage stuff in spreadsheets instead of trying to manage everything in Godot. Godot is super useful. Excel's easier, right? Let me adjust this where it's not taking up the full screen. All right, cool. You probably can't read it because it's probably too small, but essentially what's happening, I think, yeah, on the end there is a little quote. And we gotta get rid of that quote because the little quote is gonna cause problems. All right, cool. So that's fixed. So now what I can do is come back, close this. When I close it, it's gonna re-import. And just to make sure it re-imports, I can come down here. I can right click on it on the, I guess I need to go to the character CSV. If I can find it. I need to collapse some of these. I can go to re-import, which I know you can't see. That's okay. I will delete these. And then I'll go back to the character import. And I'll re-import. Okay, that's all I should have had to do. And now they are back. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and play. Yeah, that saves a ton of time. Super helpful. Tools. This is my first set of tools I've made in Godot. I will probably start doing a lot more. Anything I do tedious in Godot is going to be a tool. Just so I don't have to keep redoing it. And I'll probably take these tools and I'll package them somewhere. Because I imagine they're probably useful for a lot of people. And I'm sure there are tons of tools online that do the same thing. Obviously, this looks a mess. I understand that. So now I have Shock Slash. I can cast Shock Slash. And boom. That looks great. Okay. So a couple things. One, I need to adjust these icons. I might just get rid of the icons for now. The icons are okay. They're not all that helpful. That looks good. Let's see. Yeah, they're okay. Not all that helpful. And then the enemies. Okay, I was gonna say they're not going. Okay, but one thing I need to do though is essentially, I think I'm just gonna get rid of the icons. That'll be really easy, and then I won't have to worry about dealing with them for now. They're all placeholders anyway. What I really need to do is go take them and adjust them all to the right size. I also probably need to go draw my own. These are all, this is funny, they're all clip art from Microsoft PowerPoint, which is fine. Some of them look actually pretty decent. I think the hardest part of making the game is honestly going to be developing a cohesive story, making the story like fun, and making sure the gameplay is fun throughout the game. I have the basics of the game, right? I would say, like, if you played this today, I don't think it would be fun today. But obviously there's a lot of polish and stuff. So I've got the basics. I think I'll say once I get past like the demo, which is going to be essentially like one level, there'll be a little piece of story, there'll be a cutscene and some stuff. Even that I don't think is the hardest part. Yeah, I think the hardest part is going to be like a cohesive story all from the beginning to the end, and managing that. I will be upping the graphics a bit. I don't know how hard necessarily. The characters probably, they need cleaned up. I mean, they're a little rough for wear, at least some of them. Some are better than others. But yeah, I need to adjust the characters. It will be stylized like this. Like the style is intentional, right? Where it's kind of like, I don't know how to, kind of cartoony. Not necessarily like realistic. I could make it realistic, right? Like realistic is a possibility, but the sky will probably stay the same. I like the sky as is. I will mess with the grass and probably make it a little more. I'll probably pull it in a little bit. Right now it's a little bit thick. Probably pull the grass in a little bit. I will absolutely have the sky and stuff be dynamic. Like, I mean, it's already programmed to be. I just haven't done anything with it, right? Like I can make it a clear day, right? I can make it more cloud heavy, right? I can make it kind of stormy. So all of that will be dynamic. I think I'll probably have that vary, like with the spell and stuff you cast. So I think I can do that. So there's a lot I can do there, I think. Yeah, poly characters make the game look cartoony. Yeah, and I mean they're pretty high number of polygons. I mean there's like a like 50 to 60,000 polygons. But yeah, they're definitely cartoonish characters, and the grass is very cartoony. I would say yeah, it's probably like I like how Arya looks, right? Like I like how she looks. She looks pretty good. This guy, not so much. I mean, he needs some help, so need a little work on him. I'll say the tool I'm using to make these characters was not really meant for this style of character, so it's taking a little bit of work to make them look good. Oh, interesting. I just realized the names are all off as well. That's probably from my thing I just did, but I'll go fix that. And yeah, and the grass, how it's all like really thick like this. I'll probably make it thinner, and I'll probably put like a thing on it where when you're closer to it, it kind of zooms out. I think Zelda is a good target, right? I think Zelda is a good like style, kind of what I'm going for. Something like between Zelda and like maybe even like Kingdom Hearts ish. Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts? Not like quite that, but I want the style to be unique. I want like if you see an asset from the game, you're like, oh yeah, that's from that game, right? It's like this looks pretty good. Like I think if you saw that in a screenshot, you'd be like, oh, that's an interesting game, right? It's eye-catching. I think that's what I'm going for. Like I could absolutely do super realistic. In fact, super realistic in a lot of cases. There's so many assets out there on the internet. It's probably a little bit easier, but I like this style. I think this style is cool. So it'll be something like this. It definitely needs a lot of cleanup. Like all these tiles and stuff up here, right? Like all these are like from a free like tile map asset thing. They need some help. Yeah. But yeah, and like some look good. Some look okay, right? I think I'm making progress. I just need some I'm new to this art thing, so it's taking a little time. I do like my like hair physics and stuff look good. Oh, interesting. I broke couple things by doing this import, but that's okay. Yeah, so I need to figure out why my names are mixed up. Let me see if I can figure that out. Ultimately, I think what's probably happening is the user IDs are mixed up. And so I want to get to, let me first clear all these things. I got distracted. Let me first clear all the icons. I might have already done that. Let's see. Okay, good. I already did that. I agree. Yeah, I think it's more interesting, right? At this point, like in 2024, making a game look realistic is isn't that hard. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's definitely a big challenge, and like props to the people who can make super realistic. What I mean is there's more assets online available, so a lot of times you can buy your way into that. Giving an actual style to a game and making it cohesive, that's a challenge. I like challenges. I like things to be not that I like things to be hard, just arbitrarily, but I like the style, right? I like things being intentional. So, and ultimately this hasn't been too bad so far. So done a little bit in Blender, haven't had to do too much, and then have a pretty good workflow for character development. Excuse me. Okay, so let me see why my character sheets are mixed up. Let's see. So character ID 1, 2, 4. Okay, 5, and 3. I think that's it. I just mixed up 2 and 3. I don't know why he got loaded as a Lara 2. That's kind of interesting, but yeah, I just mixed them up. Actually, yeah, I don't know why he got loaded as a Lara 2, which is very, very interesting because this is a Lara, right? Yeah. Maybe because it's a unique name. We'll try this. Let me turn off this export. I'll keep the variable. I'm just not going to export it. That's going to be this. So that way I have to use the version I load. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I think it's more immersive whenever you kind of have like the cartoony style. It's you know, if something doesn't look quite right, it's not like it's gonna be like, oh, that didn't even look realistic, right? I'm doing magic and stuff, so I would rather have a little bit extra room to play with it than be having to make everything look super realistic. I mean, I do like the style though, so I mean, I do think it's coming along pretty well. I think for the demo, I probably won't focus that much on graphics. Like, I mean, it's gonna look better than this, but I won't focus too much on it. But ultimately, I mean, I think this works pretty good. I don't know if you've seen seen the facial profile. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm not sharing my windows for some reason. Has that not been sharing this whole time? Let me see what that's about. That's interesting. My bad. I did not realize that was the case. Hey, appreciate it, Fat Fairy Fitness. Thanks for the follow. Interesting. Let's see if I can share that with y'all. Ultimately, you guys should have been seeing my game this whole time. I've been doing things on it. Thanks for hanging out, even though it's not there. Hey, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate that. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna push this up to the top. I do have a window for this, so I think you should be able to see it. I'm kind of surprised you can't right now. Let's do this. Let's delete this, delete that, and add a new one. There you go. I gotta readjust it. So yeah, this whole time I've been talking about characters and you haven't even been able to see them. That's okay. All right. Cool. All right. So yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't realize that the script's been up the whole time. I've been doing things in here. So yeah, so ultimately I was saying, right, I've got my spells over here. Thanks, appreciate it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. So I did add, so one of the concepts I have right now is that essentially, depending on what weapon you're using, depends on what spells are available for you. So like with this sword, I've got like, I need to adjust this a little bit. I have like shock slash. I need a method to do this, right? But then if I switch over to my staff, yeah, I haven't done any like normals or anything. It's also dark out, but staff, right? I have like normal fire spells, or lightning spells, whatever it is, right? I do like the weapon switching. It looks pretty decent. It's a little bit slow. I had to make a little bit of progress, but you know, for now it's okay. So yeah, that's what I've been working while I've been chatting. Thanks for hanging out through that. And yeah, so I was saying like he needs a little bit of help. I've got a little bit of work to do. Right. I like this model. Like, she looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty decent. Still need a little bit of work. And then she looks pretty good. She's going to be like one of the big bads, I think. So, yeah, needs a little bit of help, but not bad. One thing also I've got is, so I've got like actually full control of the facial features, which is pretty cool. So like if I go her, right, and I go over to my remote nodes over here, I got to figure out exactly how I want to control this. I don't want to like sit there during cutscenes and program all the controls. So what I think I want to do is set up some animations and things where it reads in the text and controls facial expressions based on the text. But so essentially, what I can do here is I can talk, right? So like if I was going to talk with like an A, let's reset. I can do like an E. I could do all those. I can look more relaxed. I can look surprised, right? Or sad. I guess that's sad. I can look surprised. So I've got pretty good control over the face. Most of the time they'll be in angry, but in cutscenes and stuff, they'll be able to do some different things, which I'm excited about. So I do think I'll be able to kind of make the graphics pretty decent. So anyway, this is the kind of style I was talking about through all that. Like the characters, I like the characters. I like the sky. The sky's like set to some weird cloud coverage just because I was messing with the stuff while I was talking. But I like the sky. I like the characters. The grass is okay. Yeah, the game story, essentially, what's going to happen is you're going to kind of kick off the game, and there's not going to have any like magic in the world. You can see there I have a lot of magic, big focus on that. The concept right now is it's gonna be revolved around these books that all correlate to the 7 heavenly virtues. The corollary of those being the 7 deadly sins. And what I'm thinking is when you kick off the story, like some wizard or something's going to have like the book of envy, for example. It's going to be the book of whatever the heavenly virtue corollary is. What is it like? Probably like charity or something. But anyway, so essentially book of envy, he's going to have all the power. And then someone with a good disposition, like a good alignment, would get the book. And upon getting that book, the opposite of like envy and hoarding power is like charity giving power. And so I think at that point, that power is essentially going to spread throughout the dragon sin. That's going to essentially spread throughout the world. Greed, charity. Okay. Greed and charity. That's right. I got to look at my notes. This is all my notes. I don't have my notes in front of me. So yeah, so then that's going to spread throughout the world, right? So the magic people will have the power. And it's going to revolve around the big bad trying to get a hold of these books, which for anyone with an evil alignment, which they might not like realize they have an evil alignment, right? But anyone with an evil alignment, they will embody more the 7 deadly sins, while people with good alignment embody more of the the associated virtues. And so I've got a title system where essentially it's like jobs, but I'll show you some of those here. Basically, depending on like what kind of character you are, right? You have different stat increases, and that's going to be like a system of growth and unlocking. I'm going to have some of these associated with the books, and those are going to be the most powerful ones. So and they'll all correlate with the books, right? And so the story is essentially going to be everybody's learning magic at the same time, except maybe that end wizard who may not have magic until the very end or something. I'm talking about the actual 7 sins, yeah. So essentially, I think it'll be cool to have that kind of correlation there. I've never heard of the anime. I'll look that up though. maybe I do need to base it off the anime. And so yeah, so essentially everyone will be learning magic at the same time, which I think puts a really cool spin on like the magic system, like actually learning magic. It'll make sense for the enemies to scale and stuff with you, because they'll also be learning magic, right? And so, yeah, a lot of it will revolve around learning spells. I'll have to check it out. One of the things I'm thinking too is on the top here, instead of having just jump right into the elements, have like a wild magic button, where essentially the method of learning those spells is you like basically are rolling the dice a little bit, and so you kind of hit that button and you have a chance to learn a spell based on your usage of the weapon and your previous spells. I'm kind of considering like that be a bar. Like after a certain point, you fill up your wild magic bar, and it's kind of like a special ability, right? Where you use wild magic, you cast that spell, you learn that spell. It's kind of a little bit randomized, but mostly predictable. And then you can go unlock that spell after you've learned it with experience. But I think it'd be cool as like a special thing you gain over time, right? Kind of like XP, but specific XP for wild magic, and then based on what weapon you use the most during that quote level, like maybe we call it like wild magic levels. In that wild magic level, depending on what you use the most, weapons, spells, and stuff, you would have more disposition to learning that related. So yeah, that's the full list. Appreciate it. Got it in my notes now. So, so yeah, I think it could be cool. I think it offers a lot in terms of the story. Now the story it's still gonna be hard to write. It's gonna take some time. For the demo, what I want to do is I think I want to have it where the big bad over there, Ember, essentially is at a book. So like one of your goals is going to be to stop the bad guys from getting the books, right? So maybe they're at a book and they're like opening it up, and your guys come in and they're like, hey, what I'm picturing is inside of like a mountain surrounded by three sides, right? Kind of surrounded up by mountains. They're cornered, right? And so your guy's like, hey, you're cornered. You don't even know where to go. And then there's an altar in the middle of this mountain, right? Where Ember is at the altar and there's a book laying on top of it. And it's one of these books. And essentially she's like, no, I'm not too late. I'm going to beat you. And then takes on the embodiment of one of these 7 deadly sins. And you've got a boss fight basically. I think I'm going to do something like that for the demo because I got to get to illustrate a lot of these points, which could be cool. And so I think I'm going to also try to get some customization in. I got to think through whether I want to do that for the demo or wait on like the customization in terms of like actually getting where you can customize some of the stuff before the demo. We'll see. We will see. All right. So there's a couple things I want to do here. I got to go to my 2D map here. So let me go ahead and add, let me think. I think I want to make this magic thing a little bit wider. And have 2 columns. Maybe I'll wait on that. Well, I'm glad it sounds fun. I appreciate it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Now, a lot of my influences, just for awareness, are Final Fantasy Tactics. I've done a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics. Really Final Fantasy in general. Big fan. So yeah, a lot of the influence there. I think I'll set max columns to 2, and I think that does it. And then let's set let's see, it's icon mode, container sizing. I'll expand. Let's see, maybe don't expand. Yes, but let's change the size here. I might have to modify the container it's in, the VBox container. Okay. The HBox container. Okay, the player container. Wow, it goes all the way up. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, transform. Yeah, size. Okay, so basically I just want to make this a little shorter. Like 175. Yeah, it's better. And then I probably need to make it a little wider. Let's see what happens. I think I've got more elements than can fit in there. We'll see. But I'm hoping it comes out okay. I just wanted to kind of clean up some stuff before I get into the magic animations. I want to kind of clean up a lot of these animations. I don't know if you saw them. They look decent. There's some delays and stuff that just need cleaned up and smoothed, which won't be too bad. It'll just be kind of playing with the smoothness. Like, for example, when I change weapons here, right? There's a little delay there. It looks okay. I mean, it's really not bad. I want it to be a little faster. When you're playing it and you're pressing the button, and it could be from the developer standpoint, right? But I think if you were playing it for a long time, right, you're 20 hours into the game, and it just feels like a long time waiting on the weapon. So I either want to go ahead and switch it and let you continue to act while you're doing that, or something along those lines. But yeah, I need to clean up that. I need to clean up some of these. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this is not exactly what I want. I want even columns. We'll check that out. And I'm not too worried about making everything look perfect right now. Ultimately, it will look. I'll make sure it looks pretty good. But yeah, so it looks something like that. I do need to add some particle effects. That's kind of my next big thing, I think, on the magic side. But ultimately, yeah, this is feeling pretty good. I don't see a whole lot of bugs. I mean, obviously the animations are a little choppy, not too terrible. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start on. I think the animations are okay for now. I'm trying to go broad as well right now to get a good demo in place. Just kind of go as broad as possible, make everything look and feel pretty decent so that I can start playtesting. I think that's one thing I really want to do soon is start getting people to look at the game because, like, to me, I can play it all I want, but I'm not going to be like the general audience, right? So I want to make sure it's intuitive. I want to make sure people that play it. And if you do want to play test, if it's interesting to you, I'll post a link real quick to the Discord. Feel free to check us out there, and I will be pulling playtesters from the Discord. Hopefully pretty soon. I was thinking in the next week or so, I'll start playtesting. I think it's getting pretty close. Obviously, all the features aren't in there, so you'll have to take that kind of with a grain of salt. But you can at least get your hands on it and start, giving some feedback, telling me the bugs. And I think the way I'll do it is like, you play it a while, however long you want. It doesn't really matter, and then I'll have a Google form or something that you can kind of give feedback on, and I'll post it with like known bugs. So I've got a bug list. That way you can kind of have an idea of like what the problems are before you start, so you're not telling me all the problems I already know. All right, so let's go back here. We go over here real quick. Hey, I really appreciate it. Yeah. I will absolutely be kind of crowdsourcing a lot of that, I think, in the Discord. So appreciate that. I'll try to post I don't want to, the thing is I got to be careful I don't have spoilers on the end. I do have some of it planned out. But I try not to spoil anything because one day it's going to be a game. but I'll happy if anyone's okay with spoilers to talk through it. So appreciate the input for sure. Thanks a ton for joining the Discord. There are a lot of people in there that are also developing games, and that's been fun. Kind of getting to see everybody's games and seeing progress. It's been pretty cool. So thanks. Welcome to the Discord. All right, I think here then, I'm going to start working on some of these animations and cleaning them up. The first one I want to work on is, if I pull up my animation tree, this is what this looks like. And so there's a lot of different things going on here. But when I run this unequipped sword and back, right? This one looks pretty good. The unequipped back looks pretty good. Unequipped sword, that's the one that's real choppy. See that? And then I go back. So I think this is pretty easy. I think maybe just increase the crossfade time. I also can't see it very well in the... Maybe that's okay. It might be a little slow. One thing I can do, though, is just go in here. And Godot's really cool because it has this inspector system where while you're running the game, you can make changes in the inspector itself, like on the node, and it'll stay up to date and stay calculated, which is really nice. It makes debugging and kind of modifying things really easy. I did a PID controller on the character's movement because I wanted to make sure it was smooth And it was nice being able to just tune it. It was essentially tuning PID parameters. It could do it live from that window. Okay, so this is with a 2-second crossfade. A little bit slow. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. Maybe the crossfade's too long. Let's pull it down to like 0.5. So I can go a little bit fast here. Okay, I mean that looked a little better in terms of like speed. I probably need to shorten the animation, and that's okay. One problem I have, I think, is that a lot of the like unequipping and equipping the weapon is timing based, and so I lose some of that timing. At least part of it is like this part right here. There's a 1-second timer, and it gets a little bit off if I go fast. So I've got to adjust that. Let me see real quick, and maybe I can put that on an export as well. That'd probably be helpful. But let me check real quick. The way I have that organized is I have in hands here. This is where I have all the data. So I think when I switch, I want to try to get this down, like cut the timing in half. Let's see if I change that. If I change that to 1 second, I don't think it will update. It might. I've been 50-50 on whether it updates or not. Oh, it broke. Okay. I'm using a plugin for my VRM models that I got from Vroid, or that I made in Vroid, and it did not like. I think you call it hot fixing. That's fine. It doesn't take that long to load this game. All right. Oh, maybe it is going to take a long time now. Oh man, it's not showing up again. Let me reshare my window. For a long time, the window shared no problem. I wonder what happened. Pretty strange. Actually, you know what? Let's delete that. Let's go to this one and edit it. There you go. Don't know what happened there. It's fine. So yeah, so ultimately that does feel a little bit faster, which is nice. Not bad. Oh, that was off. Okay, so let's see what's going on there. If I go back to my animation tree, look at unequipped sword, which I think is where the issue is. That's at a 0.5. If I do that at 1 second, I think that was where I was. Oh, actually, I sped up all of the stuff. Okay, so I just have to speed everything else up to match, which I think is good, actually. Okay. The way I set these up, too, is these are blends, so I can actually speed them up a little bit here. So I could do like a 1.5 times speed here. Let me see if that... This is on unequipped sword. I expect it to go fast. Yeah. Something like that's good. I do have to adjust the timers again, but I do like the speed of the animation. The animation's too long, but I do like the speed of it. Okay, let me... that looks pretty good. Let me adjust the animation timing. So ultimately, I'm going to go to unequipped sword. Maybe unequipped sword 2. I think I'm only ever using unequipped sword. I don't know why I have to, actually. It's fine. So let's go. Let's see. When I play this, surprised that is so long here. So I'm guessing I'm manually. Let me close this out real quick. So let's look at this real quick. Okay, and then I stop. And I stop, which is fine. What does unequipped sword 2 do? Same thing. It's identical. I can probably delete one. I wonder if on my animation tree, if I really should stop. Maybe what I need to do is just automatically at end switch. So I just switch at end. I don't know why I'd wait. We'll find out. Maybe there's a good reason I was waiting. But let's just say, so what I'm changing here is I'm saying, hey, automatically when you finish this animation, go ahead and switch at the end of it. Because ultimately I don't need to sit there and wait. That could be why. Let me set this crossfade a little longer now. Oh no, I probably want it a little shorter. Oh, we'll see. That's probably why I was waiting a bit, because I was timing it out. Okay. I convinced myself that it is a good idea to wait, I think. Because that probably looks... Well, it might look okay with a weapon. Let me speed this one up a little bit, too. To like 1.5. Just, again, I want these animations to feel really snappy. So that you're not sitting there for a few minutes waiting for your... or even a few seconds. Waiting for your character to change weapons. I want that to happen really quickly, right? Press the button. You should get instant feedback that is change weapon. Hey, Wheatman, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. We're just kind of playing with some animations here. Also, I'm having issues with my Windows populating, which is fine. But, I don't know why it's doing that. But it's fine. Everything's good. So yeah, so if I speed that up, obviously I have timing issues, but that does feel a lot better. I'll set the timing on actually like equipping and unequipping to match now. Let me go to my script. So essentially I need to unequip sooner. Let's go back to my script here on my hand. So the unequip comes here, but I guess that's the... Yeah, it's the unequip. Needs to happen sooner. Let's try that in half a second. And then same thing here. When I add it, let's try half a second. If I could get that down to like that whole run to 2 total seconds, I think that would feel a lot better. Hey, Nismo. Good to see you. Yeah, I think it's looking good. It was feeling really delayed, right? It was feeling like you were sitting there waiting for it to happen. Okay, let's check. That is better. That is better. What are your thoughts? Obviously, that timing was a little bit off. I can work on that. I might have to do it depending on what weapon, or just speed up the sword animation a little more. I got to think that through. Okay, so it's still... Yeah, I probably just got to slow it down a little bit. I like the zippiness, but yeah, not perfect. Okay, honestly, that one looks really good. So one way looks really good. That looks really good. It's just when I switch back to the sword, which I can probably do is just put a little bit of logic in here to say, hey, if you're grabbing a sword, then just wait a little bit longer before you swap weapons. Because like that looks pretty decent. That looks pretty good. That looks really good. So yeah, let's just, instead of messing with everything, I already have this. If the assigned animation is this, that kicks off the animation here. Let's see. So that's backup node character. I think I can put this first, because this actually doesn't change. When's the first time I use backup node? It's right after this. So basically I could do this. So go ahead and set the assigned animation. Go ahead and run the animation. And then if it's on my back, just wait half a second. But if it's on my hip, go ahead and wait 1 second. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's going to look pretty good. I might have to do the same thing up here, but I do think it's that easy still. Very good. And I've got I'm not sure what's going on with OBS. It used to be really good at detecting when I'd pull up new windows, and then it decided it decided for some reason it didn't like doing that. Okay. So not terrible. All right. I think that looks decent enough for now. I think there's some fine tweaking I can do, but like that feels snappy, right? And it would allow you to kind of move on without having to sit there and do animations. All right. What do y'all think? Let's see. He's really slow still. Why is he slow? Oh, I must have not changed. Okay. So in Godot, you can bring in like what they call editable children. So I have this as its own scene, right here. And I just changed it, I'm sure, at this level. So ultimately, I do have these finishing automatically. I have the sword at 1.5. I'm just reviewing these real quick so I can set them on the actual one. Both of them are at 1.5 speed. This is a 1 second merge. That's a 0.5 second merge. So I'll go in here and see. That looks good. That's a 0.5 second. That's a 1 second. Yeah, those didn't get updated. So pretty easy. Go change these to 1.5. And then what I can do is go back to my characters over here and just reset all the animations. I really don't need, honestly, all of the animations to be editable, but it is nice when I'm talking like doing facial expressions and stuff. It is nice to be able to do that quickly. So I'm just going to refresh those. I think that's probably the only one I have to refresh, but I'll go ahead and refresh all of them just to make sure. One thing I need to do is, actually, you know what? I don't want to do that because I do need to edit. Actually, that's correct. Right? Yeah, those are the correct root nodes. So I can do this. It automatically puts it back where it needs to be. Good deal. I've tried really hard to make this where it's easy to edit and develop in. It would be really easy to go make everything kind of one of a kind, right? But then if you have any kind of custom character making in your game or anything like that, it becomes impossible because you programmed everything to be one of a kind. Okay, that looks pretty good. Those are all still set correctly. Great. Let's try this out on a couple characters. That does feel a lot better. Like, the timing's not perfect. I understand that. I need to kind of work on the timing a little bit, but it's getting pretty close. All right. The staff looks really good. I like the staff a lot. The sword maybe feels a little bit rushed. Yeah, I think the timing on grabbing the weapon might be okay. Huh. Maybe I need to make the animation just a little bit longer so I hang out. The back looks incredible, though. I like the back a lot. Yeah, let's go ahead and fix that. I think what I would do is just on this animation for unequipped sword. Do I want to slow it down? Not necessarily. I think what I want to do is just on the animation itself for unequipped sword, make this like a 1.5 second. So essentially, when I run through this, what ends up happening is, let's go to my animation tree here. So then when I unequip sword, I wait like a tiny second. So I think it's going to help. And then I guess that's 1 second. So let's make that 1.2. Oh, I'm running at 1.5 speed though. So 1 second should still be okay. Let's try that out. Did it again. That I for sure need to fix. That's really annoying. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks better. I think that works. I'm going to expand this out to like 1.1 second. But it does feel a whole lot better. All right. 1.1. Maybe 1.2. I'd rather overshoot it, I think, a little bit. Which was my original ask. I should have stuck with it. All right. So let's see here. All right. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that's great. Very responsive. Feels good. It's fast. Like, does it look super realistic? No, but it's... Yeah, I might have to wait for a second. Like, not a second, but like a fraction of a second longer on the sword. It's still a little too fast for me. I don't want it to take forever, but it doesn't feel like it takes forever right now. It actually feels a little bit rushed. And make that 1.5 seconds. It is actually, whoa, actually, it's not even the putting it up, right? So 1.2 is actually okay. It's actually the taking it out, right? Okay, let me set it 1.5 and let me look again. It might be actually the taking it out, which means I need to go modify the top part of this script. No, never mind. I pull it out on the bottom part of the script. You can actually do a lot of the animation without like ever learning a programming language. Okay, yeah, that needs to go back to 1.2. The programming language that I use to control, like what I'm talking about here, this is in GD script, but you could do it in C#. You could do it really in, if you're using Godot, you'd probably do it in C# or GD script, and I would actually recommend GD script. GD script is very similar to like Python. It's very intuitive. It's been pretty easy to learn. I started learning it back in like February, and it's really not bad at all. So I would say GD script, and like if you're just doing animations, Godot is a great program for it. And then you need to learn like the nodes you need to learn are like the animation tree, animation player, and look up a website called Mixamo. If you're not familiar with Mixamo, it is a website that allows you to pull in animations for free. It's an Adobe website, but it is free. And you can go download any of the animation. That's what I do. My workflow is like I go pull up animation from Mixamo. I create a character in a program called Vroid, and then I re-import them into Godot, and then I take them from Godot and recast the skeleton. And then after I recast the skeleton from Godot, I recast the skeleton from Mixamo, and that's pretty much all I do from there. So check that out. I actually have I wanted to make sure I got this workflow right, so I have a PowerPoint, which I know sounds silly, but yeah, I have a PowerPoint that is this workflow. So PowerPoint for the win. This is the full workflow that I use to get characters and animations working, and it's super effective. I mean, it's fast. When I want to pull in animations, like you can see all the animations I have are up here, and I've got a lot, right? And it has not been challenging at all to pull these. It's been free, so highly recommend Mixamo. And then yeah, GD script's good. Yep, they're both interpreted languages. They're pretty straightforward. The syntax is even similar in a lot of cases, right? The logic's going to be the same. GD script, I think, is the way to go. Okay, so speed scale. I don't think this actually does anything. I'm going to reset. I don't think it actually does anything. Okay, so I needed to, up here, change this. So essentially, do I use backup node up here? Nope. So I can move this up here, right there, change character assigned weapon unequip animation, right? And then essentially put the timeout timer up here. Up here on the hip, it looks great. Or no, on the back, it looks great. On the hip, I need to expand it just a hair, probably like 1.0. And I'm going to turn this back to 1.0 as well. So I think I was looking at the wrong timer when I was modifying it. Let's check that out. I gotta edit this again. What if I turn it off and on again? Oh, that's interesting. So it's actually pulling, it like updates my window. I might have like a thing where it's set to update my window automatically. It might have updated where it does that. Let me see. Yeah, capture method. Ah, got it. Okay, well that's fixed. There was a setting that's window title must match, otherwise it looks for a new title. All right, let's see what this looks like. Okay, a little bit off. I'm putting it up. Okay, taking it out I think looks pretty good. putting it up, I'm a little bit off. Okay, I need to go back to 1.2 seconds. Let's see, when I put it up, it's too late. So I probably need to go like 0.7. And one thing I could do is I could export these and tweak them, but I think I'm close enough that it's fine. But yeah, I could export them and tweak them in the window over here. Highly recommend that if you're trying to do things quickly. It really is a huge help. All right. Let's see. So that looks pretty good. And then what about back? I think that looks great. I think we're gonna call that a success. It feels way snappier. It looks much better. I might tweak pulling the staff out a little bit. No, I think it's fine. Let's check the other characters. Yep, that looks good. Looks good. I need some new weapons. That looks great. All right. I think we're good to go there. Honestly, I think that looks really good. I do need to move the staff out a little bit. I'll go do that right now while we're looking at it. So on the staff, what I'm noticing is look at the Kale, the guy on the right. Look at his back. I need to bump out the staff just to. Here, actually, I probably don't want to do it through here. Do I? No, probably not, because it fits in their hands, and it's fitting in the hands pretty well. What I'm going to want to change is on the back here. I'm going to want to bump it out just a hair. It's going to change for everybody because, again, I've tried programming this where it's easy to switch between stuff. Okay, that looks pretty good. It's in his back a little bit. Let me scoot it out just a fraction of a hair here. And then maybe rotate it in a little bit. Let's see, that's too far. Maybe there is a balance. Maybe it's just gonna have to. What I could do too is modify. I could modify everybody's. I don't really want to. Let's see what it looks like if I just am sitting on his character. Okay, it's not bad. I mean, it kind of goes into a shirt a little bit, but I think it's fine for now. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It's getting late at 11 o'clock. So I got about 30 minutes left of streaming. I think what I'm gonna do here is maybe start working on just a little bit of particle effects. And try to get like things set up to be able to run animations for Magic. If you notice my characters, they've got a lot of animation players. And the reason is there's a lot of things going on. I think this animation player that's been added to my characters, let me see what this contains. I think that's the one I'm thinking. Oh, that's the grabbing. So probably not. That's an animation that essentially anytime they have a weapon equipped, it automatically grabs. Does that go to the right place on all these? Yeah, it's on the right hand. So I think I need an animation player under Magic, maybe? What I'm thinking is, when I cast a spell, I need to apply particle effects, right? And it's going to change per spell I cast. I do want to make it pretty accessible. In terms of, like, I don't want to have to sit there and do animations for 100 spells. Like, let me pull up my spells list real quick so you can see what I'm working with. But I think, like, if I do the particle animations in the right way, and you can see right now I only have sword and staff spells, but ultimately I'm going to have sword, staff. Actually, I've got a full list of everything I'm planning. I don't know if I'll end up implementing all of these, but these are the weapons I'm planning. So right now I'm planning sword, axe, staff, unarmed, bow, dagger, a gun, whip, throwing weapon, pole arms, twin blades. And I've got this hidden affinity that I'm not sure I'm going to use for yet, but I think I'm going to set, I might end up setting everything to 1 except like the base classes. And I'm thinking end game, you have some super powerful weapon that with your kind of early classes, maybe you get some bonus on or something. Not sure yet. It's more of a note right now than anything, but yeah, so I've got like quite a few weapons I'm planning. So ultimately, if let's count those. That is 11 weapons. If I only had 36, which sounds like a lot, 36 spells for all my weapons. I guess I can do it here. That's 400 animations. 400 animations for a solo developer is a lot. It's not terrible. If I did 10 a day, it would take, 40 days. So I need to make sure that they are easily modifiable between them. And a lot of these are going to look the same. Here's what I plan on doing. Yeah, it's definitely an unhealthy amount of animation. So here's what I plan on doing though. Essentially, like I want all of the spells to feel unique. And so I think I'll probably add a thing like where maybe Earth has like a larger area of effect, but like a smaller damage or something. Fire could just be standard or something, water. Air maybe like slashes horizontals. So like maybe you say, hey, I'm gonna attack this horizontal, right? In a line. Think of like a queen, or I guess maybe similar, like a bishop or something. Ice, not sure yet. But lightning maybe attacks like a group of squares, deals a ton of damage, but maybe has a chance of missing, right? Like maybe it attacks in the group of squares and maybe throws bolts down, but there's a chance it misses. Light and dark, I have no idea yet. Death, maybe it's just like instant death or something. So I think all of these I can give like a characteristic of the spell to, and I could apply that similarly to all the things. And then I think it wouldn't feel as cheap if it's just particle effects, because every spell feels the same. There are things I have to animate. I have to animate a lightning bolt. I'm gonna have to animate, which the lightning bolt I'm actually looking forward to. There are things I'm gonna have to do, and I think it's fine, but I want to reuse as much as I can across all of these, so I really got to think that through. So for now, I kind of want to maybe just play with some particles. Like if I just let's throw her like in a backslash animation. I'm going to turn off the animation tree, and I might just put her in like a backslash over and over again animation, and then look at some of the stuff. So we'll do spin attack. This is what it looks like when I cast a sword spell. One moment. I'll be right back. I gotta grab here, you guys watch her do spin attacks. My monitor's beeping. Be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see this. One second, I'm gonna turn these down. You're probably hearing a bunch of white noise. All right. Very good. Here, let me adjust this. Perfect. Somehow I got taller or something, I don't know. Okay. Sorry for the lag there inside the animation window. It looks a little laggy. I guess at that angle, maybe. I don't know. Okay. So ultimately that looks decent. What I'm going to do is I guess she's not holding a weapon. Let me give her a weapon real quick. Let me go here. Let's go to a weapon. And so that's another thing I adjusted, is it generates the weapons at load time. So I will need to clear that. Actually, you know what? No, it's not. I was going to say let's go ahead and just go into the game. That's okay. Hey, Journey, how's it going? We're currently working on some animations for Magic for a little bit. I am going to pull in a weapon on her so that she can... Let's see, we'll use the sword here. Right here. Just going to instantiate that. Cool. So that's what that looks like. I may end up slowing this down so that I can see stuff. Let's see. Oh, it's backwards. Looks like a 0.5. So what I want to do, like this is the, like if I do like a fire slash, right? I need a couple things to happen. First off, let's go back to 1 here. First off, she's going to be charging. If I go to casting sword, there's a bunch of animations here, but essentially casting sword 2 is I think the one. So I would need like a particle effect on her hand. I think that's what I'm gonna do first. That's gonna be consistent. I think I'm gonna do, I don't think I'm gonna make that element based. I think when I would do the casting on the hand, right, I think I'm gonna make it the same. Like I need her to accumulate particles on her hand. First thing I'm gonna do is on the hand itself. So this is on the left hand, right? I'm going to, I think, let me try to think this through. Everyone will have a left hand. I can absolutely initiate particle on the hand. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna see what it looks like for now. View particle 3D. Let me see how I'm doing this on here. Okay. So I also have this particle accelerator. I guess what I could do actually is just in my particles thing down here, I could add a bone attachment, and then the bone attachment, connect that to her skeleton. It's going pretty good, honestly. Things are looking pretty good. I'm working now to try to get some of these animations looking pretty clean, but I honestly like how pretty much everything's going. I just implemented a lot of tools to be able to pull in more spells and character sheets and a lot of other stuff pretty quickly, which is really helpful. And so I honestly, I think it's coming along pretty good. I'm excited about it for sure. Okay, so then if I play, that should follow the hand now. Yeah, that follows the hand. And then I think I can add, let me see what these issues, what isn't it like? It's just I need to save. Yeah. Okay, then I can add a particle effect to that. How are you doing? How's your game coming along? And then I'm going to move the particle effect forward a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be in 0.1 increments. I need to pull it. Let's undo the magnet. I'm going to put it right in the middle of her hand. I got to think that through too. Like, maybe this is a bad idea because look, imagine for a second, there are particles coming from all over the place and accumulating in her hands. They're going to be moving like this. Does that make sense? Should it be moving or should it just be at a static place in front of her? I kind of think it should just be in a static place in front of her. Okay. I gotta think about that. For now, I'll leave it there. Okay, I'm gonna emit like 50 of these. Let's see. What do I want this to look like? This is the second particle I've ever made in Godot. So please bear with me. Let's see, this is the first one I made, and it's pretty simple. I may want to incorporate these as part of this, but for now I'll do this. And then essentially I think in my script, I'll just turn it off and on. So it'll be there the whole time, right? And then when I'm charging, I'll turn it on until I'm done charging. And I think that's pretty easy here. So yeah, I'll get a process material. And I'll do a new particle process material here. That's some randomness in the lifetime. I don't think I care too much about that. Accelerations. Let's just for now get something showing up. So like gravity, it's going to be falling, which is fine. Let's see. Oh, good. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Getting the basics down. It makes Godot so much more fun, right? So that's good. Yeah, get the basics down and then go from there. But that's good. And you know, it's a long process for sure. But I think the hard part for anything is just continuing with it, like in Godot and stuff, because it is hard, I think, to get started because it does just take time, right, to learn it. And then if it takes time and you're not having fun, like a color. So let's see if I can make that happen. Let's just pull in like a white color. I don't want a color ramp. What is that? Color initial. I don't necessarily want a ramp. But let's see. Attractor. I do want an attractor. Okay. I may have to put a image on it. I don't think I have to necessarily. Oh, you know what? I could just put, for now, I could just do like a placeholder or a box mesh for now. And then just make it like small. Yeah, okay. So it's just falling with the gravity, and so not quite at what I want there. Let's see. So material. I don't think I mean, I don't really want a box. What I'd really like is just like lights, right? Like particles. Maybe something like a sphere would be better. I wonder what a ribbon trail mesh is. Let's see that. Shape. Flat. Do cross, it's fine. Size. 0.01. Interesting. And it's got nothing on that side. Sections. Sorry, we're playing a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Okay. What I'd kind of like, if I could flip that 90 degrees, what might be good is, let's see. What might be good there is like if they were coming into the sphere. Again, I'm kind of just playing here. Trying to look at some stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay, so points. I could do like, yeah, little tiny balls like this, I guess. Spheres. Let's see. I don't think that's going to look good at all. And I may, what I kind of want is just like light. Tube trail. I don't know what these trail meshes are. That's a tube, obviously. So I think what's going on is, let's see. I need a falling pipe sound. Let's just create spheres. I'm gonna make them small. And then I'll go from there. That's probably too small. Let's make them 0.005. And then we'll add some randomization. We're gonna make them emit some light. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so first off, I don't want them falling like that. I do want them expanding out. Let's see, if I make this 1, that just drops. Okay, so it's random. So if I actually go from -100 to 100, let's see what it's doing there. Okay. They're kind of going up and down. Let's limit this to like -1 to 1. Linear acceleration. Interesting. Okay. So what I really want is for them to be coming into the hand, right? So I got to think about how to do that. It probably will be in a what's tractor interaction? Okay, we'll hold this for now. And we'll see. Okay, so this is velocity max. Interesting. This is radial velocity. That's fun. Okay, doesn't need to be 1,000, but maybe like -10 and 10. Still too much. -1 and 1. Like that could be good if I put a little actual sphere. I might have to draw that. And obviously it's just too much right now. So I do need a limit. Let's turn these off for now. I don't actually know if they're... Okay. Hey, that looks pretty... That's kind of what I'm looking for, except backwards. If they're all negative, do they... No. All right. Okay. So like that, but backwards. Let's see. Spread 45 is fine. Let's see. So this adds randomness into how long they last. So like right now I have a lifetime of 0.3. I can make that like 0.1 and they'll disappear faster. 50 is a lot. I think this is randomness for the amount that show up. Yeah. Oh, this is the ratio that actually get emitted. Okay. All right, so if I change this to like 0.1, they're gonna go like that, like a lot faster. Maybe like 0.3. So you can kind of see where I'm getting at. That's coming out, but I want it to be coming in, right? The idea is that she's accumulating power here. What if I set speed scale to -1? Didn't like that. Okay, explosiveness, no. I want it to be nice and smooth. Pre-process. Let's see what this is. Let's see what that does. Amount of time to pre-process the particles before animation starts. Okay. So if my animations start eating a lot of resources, I would pre-process. Okay. That's a lot of randomness, but I don't think it really is changing much. Interpolate, okay. And here I'm just trying stuff out again. I'm just learning, so. Collision. Okay, they're hitting each other now. I get it. All right, let's see what happens if I turn trails on. I'm not sure about trails. I'm not sure it's really doing a whole lot. Maybe if I had lights on here, maybe the trails would be doing a little more. Which I do want it to emit light. Okay. That's interesting. Mission shape sphere. Oh, that's interesting. ring. So, okay. What if I do this? Sphere. What is this? Emission sphere radius? Take negative numbers? No. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let's see. What if I set this to negative 720 and 720? All right, let me put... This is starting to look okay. Let me come here and add some material to this. Okay. I'm gonna add some transparency for sure. Okay, all right, so I can add the well, yeah, I'll need alpha, but I'll need that in the albedo. That's where I need to have emission here. Obviously, this doesn't look good. Just let's get that straight. Okay, we do want them to glow. And then I want it to be white. Have quite a bit of energy to them. Okay, I'm gonna turn shadows off. All right, and then I don't think distance fade or proximity fade is what I'm looking for. I do it on this. I think I use the color curve here to control them essentially disappearing as they go out. Yeah. So I think I can just copy this. Come in here. And paste. Oh, that didn't work. Let me go back here. Color ramp, copy value. And paste value. Okay, I don't think that changed much. That's okay. All right. Let me turn these spheres, make them a little smaller. Now I would need like a sphere in the middle, I think. They are gonna be glowing, which is nice. And I still need them to go into the circle instead of away from it. Let's see how I do that. And I think I want trails. Is that what I'm looking for here? I'm not exactly sure what trails are. Let's open up the documentation. Enables particle trails. Designed to work with ribbon trail mesh and tube trail mesh. Use particle trails must be enabled on the particle mesh's material. Otherwise, okay. So that has no effect. And then if I go down to the particle material here, is there a trail on here? No, so what's actually looking for is on the process material. Is there a trail on here? No. Okay. Well, I gotta figure that out. So I'll probably play with that. I'm quickly running out of energy here. Man, what I really want, like if I do -1, I really want this to run backwards almost. I really want them to be accumulating in her hand, right? Right now they're kind of flowing out of her hand. Let's see, I could do some, I don't think hue acceleration. I also don't think, I don't think the little spheres are the end. goal here. Might end up writing a shader. I think I'm a little better there. You know, like the shader I use for the actual mapping of the map looks pretty good. I might end up writing something that can vary the emission on it a little bit, because this isn't quite there. I do wish these were getting kind of more sucked in than... What if I do like a -1 here? Just do -100. Let's see. Let's go back to point. I can see them flowing out. Now let's do -100. Nothing. I'm trying to figure out... Oh, direction. -1. No. Oops. Not it. Not it at all. So yeah, I'm probably I might have to draw some stuff in Blender. Might have to mess with it. I think I'm about to call it a night, at least on this. I might go into Ableton for just a few minutes. I know I've said that before. It is late. Okay, well, let me, for now, at least close this up. That particle shader is just on her hand. Let's turn it off. What's it missing? Okay. I'll play with that. I'm going to jump in Ableton. I got like a 5-minute limit here. I do want to work on music a little bit, but at the same time, I'm very sleepy. All right. Let's see. You're going to lose my audio for a second. Test. My bad. Nobody told me that that was the case. Oh man. Okay. Well, thanks for informing me. Huh. Let me go set this up where I can hear it as well. That's all right. Post mixer 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's see. Check. Okay, now I can hear myself. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a huge miss. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. I really thought we were making good progress. Well, that's all right. Here's where I'm at since I appreciate it. I guess I got to be careful when I'm changing to make sure. So one thing that's funny is I accidentally hid my audio mixer. Yeah, nobody told me, which is fine. Okay, so here's where we're at. I changed a couple things in here. Probably about done though here. That piano there is just what I was doing live a second ago. So it's kind of raw. I'm just trying to figure out what works well there. What I didn't like is that it's essentially, that piano there was just like I was literally doing it live just now, trying to figure out a lead in. Because I'm trying to figure out the lead in into this walk up here. I need to transition a little smoother, so I'm kind of playing with some of the speeds there. So here's what I was doing. I think before I realized my audio was not working. Thanks, appreciate it. The ramp up's good. I need something leading into it where it's not so out of place. Which maybe I just need longer. I cut a lot of time. Something like that, right? So I'm thinking I need to start like walking up the speed. I think the big thing is you don't want to go, what I've learned from guitar is you don't really want to go from like slow notes to fast notes. You want to kind of walk them up. So one thing I can do is not quite, but I think that's kind of what I'm going for. Hey, Casey, how's it going? Good to see you. You got your VIP badge now. Congratulations. Yeah, I was going to end my stream like 30 minutes ago. And then I got informed my my audio's been off for 30 minutes. So, it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, what I'm working on here is trying to figure out what I want this transition to be. I kind of like this, not for this particularly, but I like it as a reference. I I'm just going to turn the volume on it all the way to 0. I don't know if I can do that in a MIDI track. It's okay. It saves them. So I'm trying to figure out, I think we're pretty close. I basically want this to transition into this lead up faster. Maybe not faster, just more smooth. Which maybe with the right visuals, it's not as bad. Yeah, I thought about trying something like that, and I think it could work, but I really like how it sounds, like the full, it's very like staccato almost. We could try it real quick. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure here. So if we were gonna do like a fade in, we could just do something like this. Hey, thanks, Zed. Appreciate it. And that's not too bad. I like how it sounds. Honestly, yeah, that's not bad. I still want something leading up to it though. So I think here, like I just need some lead piano back here. So let's see. So if it comes in, hope you're having a good night, Zed. Good to see you. Maybe even just some simple stuff at the beginning. I did cut out a lot of the intro here. Maybe it's too fast now. Maybe it needs more. Oh, that's a cool. I could call that back. All right. I like that callback there. I'm going to save that. And I think that's actually pretty close. So do the root note every beat like 2 bars before it. I could do that. So one second. Let me figure out where I want to save in this. Honestly, a lot of this is pretty decent for improvising. Like, obviously that's not good, but that I need to go dun dun dun. Right? So it's like, oops. Do I just do that one? I'm gonna clean this up. I think I'm gonna end up using it. Okay, that right there needs to go dun 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 dun. So a little delayed. We'll fix it later. And then this one, I think I want to go dun. So I want to pull it down to there. Yeah, the small, I've got a little tiny, what is it, like 25 key or something. And it's super, super useful. Definitely recommend. Oh, wait, where was that at? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Sorry, you're hearing my humming here. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of get the sense of what I'm looking for. So boom, 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 boom. There you go. Boom. I think then I don't need to ramp up, or not ramp up as much. Call back to my earlier melody. More staccato. Yeah, and actually I think I can. What's legato? Legato holds it. I thought there was maybe a staccato button. Oh, in the build-up? Maybe. So dun, dun. Let's see. So yeah, if I did delete every other on the piano, right? Delete every other one. What would that sound like just at the beginning there before I do all that? Let's see. Because I do think that's a pretty good idea. I'll keep the flute doing it because I think the flute walking up is nice. But yeah, if the piano was a little bit less, that might be okay. Okay, let's see what this sounds like. I kind of like the build up though, so I might put it back. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's pretty decent. I might pull this flute down a little bit. Yeah, Zed, what we're working on actually is trailer music. So I think I'm gonna try to use this for trailer. I may end up using it for like the end credits or something too, or the opening scene. Not sure. I think I like this this little hook right here, and I'll probably use it through a lot of the OST. Just kind of repeat it in a lot of stuff because I kind of like it a lot. But yeah, I think it's gonna end up being like a trailer. So here's what I'm thinking for the trailer. Maybe I'll even pull up my game so we could see what this looks like live behind the music, and see. Let's see. Actually, let me turn on my. I'm gonna turn on my cutscene thing. We'll get the whole experience, and then I'm gonna call it a night because it's very late. But yeah, let me turn cutscene animations on real quick. And I'm gonna hit the button here. Yeah. Wait, I gotta time this. I can't just. There we go. All right, here we go. Here's what I'm thinking. Kicks off. Oh, I didn't do it. That's okay. My cutscene broke, obviously. So more on the chill side here, right? Kind of seeing maybe a sunset. All right, maybe some of this. Seeing some of the menu or something. Clouds, nice, relaxing. hanging out. Wait for it. All right, here we go. Right now there's combat, people are fighting, there's things going on. That's kind of what I'm thinking, right? I think the music fits the vibe. And then maybe back to calm. I need some particle physics things, but ultimately, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Then back to chill. I don't know why she's... Oh, I have that... I turned the spin strike on loop earlier. All right. So anyway, I think that works pretty well. I'm going to turn this back to not loop. Animations. Yeah, all right. I think with that, I'm about to call it a night. It's very late. But I'll throw that back on one more time while I find someone to raid real quick. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Sorry for the sound earlier, but I'm glad it got fixed. So yeah, let me find someone to raid real quick. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. I'll be back probably Monday. I don't know that I'll stream at all this weekend, but yeah, I'll let you know, Casey, if I'm streaming. Otherwise, we'll catch you all soon. Gotta find someone here to raid. Let's see. Oops. But yeah, have a good night, and we'll catch you soon. I'm gonna find. Let's see. We'll raid Malay. I know nothing about this person. Oh, they're in Malaysia. They might not speak English. Mill Stage PSP game. I feel honored. Let's give a hey guys to Hex Built here. Oh, I can't raid Hex Built. Never mind. Why is this complicated? All right. Let's see. Let's raid D Steve. D Steve's is pretty cool, actually. Give a hey guys to D Steve's. Never mind. My raids just are bad. Anyway, might just call it a night. I keep getting denied raids. Anyway, good night, Zed. Thanks for hanging out. I know, broken raids here. Not sure why it's taking me 3 minutes to find someone to raid, but I'm just gonna call it. Have a good night. We'll raid someone next time.